Hey, good afternoon, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins here, coming to you from beautiful San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world with the voice of one executive performance coaching. I want to share something with you today that I shared with the client this week that I think will help you to see things in a little bit of a different light. One of the things that people know about Angela and I, and have known about us for years, is that we became incredibly committed a very long time ago to make it a focus and a goal to be at the gym or the CrossFit box or the whatever at 5 a.m. so that we could be home a little after 6 a.m., meaning getting up at 4 something. Now, I was a night owl, she was a night owl, and this was not an easy shift. It took a little bit of time, but the truth of the matter is the time that you get up and the time that you go to sleep really are not really that big of a deal once you understand that it's about going to sleep and getting up, whatever cycle that may be. You may go to bed at midnight and get up at 8. Go to bed at 11, get up at 7. Go to bed at 10, get up at 6. Whatever you need for your 8 hours of sleep or however many hours of sleep you need, for us it was key and critical because the number one excuse that people make about their inability to accomplish goals is, well, I just got busy, I don't have enough time. I didn't have time. We didn't have time. And believe me, the two of us married with 7 kids, raising those kids while running businesses, we were the ultimate people who really could have leaned into that limiting belief that, you know what, well, we just didn't have time. Then we made peace with extreme ownership. And we made it a commitment, as we expect for all of our coaching clients, that we no longer get to say, I didn't have time. We must say it wasn't a priority. Because you know what? We made time for the things that were actually priority over other things. Now this isn't bad or good, right or wrong. It's just noticing that when you say certain things are important to you, we want to know, does your audio, blah, 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 what you're saying match your video in real life? If you told us, these are my priorities, would your schedule reflect it? Would your choices reflect it when you are in a situation that there is a conflict? Would it show up? Do you just think those things are your priorities? So we made that decision to be people who are 5 a.m. workout folks in order to be able to have a powerful, powerful morning routine to accomplish the big goals we intended to accomplish for ourselves and for our family. And this is something that will blow your mind that you have probably never seen or heard of before in your life. Why physical discipline is a key to success. It is a critical key. Now, I'm not saying you have to be super fit, and I'm not saying that you have to be ripped with 6% body fat or at your target weight. What I'm talking about is a physical discipline, a discipline where you start the day with your body doing what your brain says instead of your brain doing what your body says. There's an old saying among the coaching world that we use to drive this point home when we say, if you hit the snooze button in the morning, you're going to end up working for somebody who doesn't. I know, that one stung a little bit, right? It's something for you to think about because as soon as that alarm clock goes off, or as my mentor Zig Ziglar would say, the opportunity clock. It's not an alarm clock. An alarm goes off when your car is being broken into. Alarm goes off when there's a fire. Alarm goes off when there's a problem. It's an opportunity clock because if you hear it, you have another opportunity to live another day. So when that opportunity clock goes off, instantly you begin the momentum of your day with your body telling your brain what to do or your brain telling your body what to do and then building momentum on top of that first singular choice. What do I mean by that? Maybe you have a commitment to work out in the morning. Maybe you have a commitment to walk around the block. Maybe you have a commitment to do something and you want to do this. It's important to you. You say you want to do it and then the alarm clock goes off in the morning and here's what happens. Oh my God, what was I thinking? Oh, please, the bed is so comfortable. It's so nice and warm and it's so cold out there. Oh, and Mel Robbins would say, you have a 5-second rule. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to act on that commitment or you miss the window and you won't act on that commitment. So you must start the day, beep, with our voice of one primary self-coaching statement. And it's a question you ask yourself. Is my decision to take action right now going to be based on my feelings or my commitment? Because your feelings don't have big plans for you. Newsflash, they want you comfortable. They don't want to rock the boat. They want you in homeostasis, even if homeostasis is unhealthy and toxic and not serving you and not helping you. So why is physical discipline key to success? I'm glad you asked, and I'm going to create a little chart for you so that you can follow along with me in this. So when we look at this at the bottom, and let's just say this is our physical discipline. I wish there was a way to do this where I didn't have to put my back to you, and I have to, so just bear with me. This chart moves from the bottom up. When we begin with our physical discipline, we must understand that that first decision of the day, see, it builds momentum. It builds the momentum of your mind being in control of what you are feeling, because many times there is a conflict. Your thoughts are the language of the brain. Your feelings are the language of the body. And you must learn to teach your body to do what you want it to do, rather than your body saying, just have 6 more Krispy Kreme donuts. It's okay. A dozen. They sell a dozen because you can eat a dozen, just eat them all. And have that 3rd glass of wine. Have that 3rd old fashioned. It's okay. You wanted to go to bed at this time. No big deal. This is a great show. Keep watching it. We're in conflict. And we deal with these conflicts. So the physical discipline as a foundation, here's what happens when it comes to physical discipline. Not only is this a key to success, it's a key to leadership. And let me explain what I mean by that. When your physical discipline is in alignment and you are doing this work, maybe you're not at your target weight, maybe you're not at your target goal, but you're putting in the work. Guess what begins to increase? Built on the back of your physical discipline is a self-esteem, not from accomplishing the goal, but from putting in the work. Girl, I've seen you've been going to the gym every day. Good for you, good for you. Hey, I'm still 850 pounds, but I'm there every day. Do you know what I'm talking about? You're putting in the work. People see you put in the work. Beginning is easy. Keeping with it is tough. Sure is a way to keep this when it's on live from people from hitting me up. Your physical discipline begins to affect your self-esteem, and why this is significant. It's significant because guess what? Your brain knows when you're full of crap. Your brain knows when you are half-arsing it. I like my guys over there in Ireland. Hey, I don't want to use foul language on here, so I like to use this. You can't half-arse it. If you're doing the half-arse work, you're going to get the half-arse results. You know what I mean? You got to bring your whole arse to the situation, because your brain knows when you cut corners. Your brain knows when you're cheating. Your brain knows when you are giving yourself a break. Your brain knows, and it will accuse you of that. You don't want to go to the gym. You've been wanting to go to the gym for years. You don't need to go back to the gym. No, we're not going to do that. And then when it's time to make phone calls, then when it's time to do your job, then when it's time to bring excellence, or it's time to bring the extra mile, there will be a stop, because your brain will be like, oh man, we've been compromising all morning long. It ain't no big thing. And guess what? You get what you deserve in your imagination. And many people hinder themselves from their own success because their brain is convicting them of being a person of compromise instead of a person of conviction. And a person of maybe versus a person of commitment. Zig would say a wandering generality versus a meaningful specific. So when we look at this is key, because when you're putting in the work, your self-esteem begins to grow. Your brain goes, damn, he got up at 4:30 a.m. Who does he think he is? What's it? How's it? Interesting. Your brain takes note that you're doing the hard work. And as you continue to put in the hard work, your self-esteem grows. Well, guess what happens as your self-esteem goes up? And I can't quite read that. Let me pull that. Tighten it up a little bit. Confidence. As your self-esteem goes up, your confidence goes up. The confidence, again, not from hitting and achieving the goal, from the progressive realization of that worthy ideal, from the progressive work of that worthy ideal, from the leaning into and moving towards and moving forward with commitment rather than emotion. Doing it because you're committed to do it. Doing it because you're committed to do it. Confidence comes from that. There's an incredible amount of confidence that comes from, hey, I'm doing the hard work. Now, something shifts along this line, and I'll show you what shifts. This is a big one right here. Let me ask you all a question. Have you ever been in a room and a person who is really down and depressed comes in the room? If so, raise your hand. Yep, I see you. Did they have to announce when they came in the room, hey everybody, I just want all y'all to know that I'm down and depressed, just in case you didn't know. Do they have to do that? No. You can tell, like that. Why? Because of this thing right here. Energy. Your energy sets out a vibrational field. We are energy. Energy has a current, it has a frequency, it has a vibration. And guess what? When you're depressed, when you're down, when you're bitter, when you're angry, when you're in a victim mindset, when you are physically not doing well, therefore you don't feel good about yourself and the confidence is low, your energy is really low. The flip side of this, as you commit to physical discipline and as your self-esteem grows, which increases your confidence, it changes your energy. You show up different. You show up different in your relationships. You show up different at work. You show up different at church. You show up different everywhere you go. By the way, on the flip side of that, does a confident, energetic, enthusiastic, positive person have to walk in and go, hey everybody, guess what? I'm positive, I'm enthusiastic, and I'm fired up. Do they have to announce it? No. Do you know right away? Yeah, you usually do. And ladies, you have the extra blessing of knowing if they're faking it until they be making it, or if it's sincere. You can tell like that. Like, okay, that guy's just posing. Okay, that guy's just fronting. Okay, I see what's good. Versus, damn, all right then. You go on and shine that light, boy. Just do your thing. Energy sends off that vibration. It sends off that frequency. It sends off that signal that others can pick up. Guess what happens as your energy goes up? Right here. Influence, ladies and gentlemen, which John Maxwell connects equally to this word right here. Leadership. I was telling my buddy in the coaching session, I said, think about it. A 30-year-old guy could be living at home with his mom and dad, broke, no job, playing video games all day. But if he's ripped, if he's like, like ripped, there's still some #respect. It's like, all right now, respect. There's some influence there. There's some respect. He may not be doing all the other stuff that we assume or think would be normal, but you know what? Damn, respect. You know why we respect it? Because your physical well-being is about the last thing you could actually write a check for to obtain. Warren Buffett, bless his sweet heart, he admits happily that he eats at McDonald's every morning. He's obese, he's overweight, billionaire. If he could write a check to be fit, he would write the check. He's got billions to do it. That's why there's a level of respect for yourself that takes place first when you commit to physical discipline, that transfers over to influence, which John Maxwell, the master in leadership, calls leadership. Leadership is nothing more, nothing less than influence. Now, there's several other levels of that are much lower, that just aren't real leadership. You know, like, my name is Billy and I run Taco Bell. You're going to do what I say. Positional leadership. That's not real influence. You don't follow Billy because you respect him. You don't follow Billy because you believe in him, because you know he believes in you and he's attempting to develop you and make you greater. You don't follow him. You follow him because he's got the name tag on. He's got the name tag. He's my boss. Positional leadership, lowest level. Influence, highest level. Why is physical discipline a key to success? Because you start the day, especially in the morning, you start the day with the momentum of moving in the direction of your brain telling your body what to do instead of your body calling the shots. And that momentum builds. I go from my physical discipline, my self-esteem begins to build, my confidence comes up, my energy changes, and then you are noticed. Because there's something different about you, because you have this coveted quality. Self-discipline. That's a real key. My favorite book says this in a short statement. Like a city whose walls are torn down is a man who lacks self-control. City whose walls are torn down. Think about the old day, thousands of years ago. They were the only thing that protected the city from crap coming in and overtaking it. It protected and preserved who was inside that. Like a city whose walls are broken down is a man who lacks self-control or self-discipline. The flip side of that is, baby, you build your walls high. You're able to protect your mind, you're able to protect your heart, you're able to protect yourself because you're operating by principle rather than preference, by commitment rather than convenience. And you have made the choice throughout the day, is my decision to do this hard thing, which must be done in order for me to reach my goals, is my decision to do that going to be based on how I feel or my commitment? And once you can make peace with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, you have the opportunity to achieve and accomplish whatever it is that you're attempting to achieve and accomplish just by pulling this one lever. You get that thing right, you get all the other good stuff. Hope you appreciate it. Hope y'all have a good weekend. It's been fun spending time with y'all today. Be blessed, and we'll see you later.